This right here is definitely not your typical scooter. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another review video. Big shout out goes out to iScooter for reaching out to me and asking me to review their sit-down scooter. This is the DX5 model. In this review, I'm gonna go over everything there is to know about this electric scooter, but first, let's get started with the specs. So this is the iScooter DX5 electric scooter. It features a 1500 watt peak hub motor in the rear, coupled with a UL certified 48 volts 15.6 amp hour battery. iScooter claims that this should give you a range of up to 45 miles depending on riding mode and riding conditions, of course. We have 10-inch by 3-inch tubeless moto tires, coupled with hydraulic brakes front and rear with 180mm rotor by 3mm thick. That is very nice. This scooter also has a front hydraulic fork as well as dual rear air shocks for a smooth, comfortable ride, a fairly large and extremely comfortable seat, folding footrests, as well as a storage basket. In the front of the scooter we have a headlight that's decently bright, and in the rear we have a tail light, an active brake light, as well as turn signals. That is always good. The total weight of this scooter is 101.2 pounds with the max load capacity of 330 pounds. And up on the handlebars we have our front brake, a full twist throttle, and our mode selector button. In the center we have a huge color display, and on the left side we have our rear brake, our headlight on-off switch, turn signals, and a horn. And that is pretty much it for the specs. Now, as far as the price, this current model goes for $709, or right about that price range, and I might even have a discount code for you guys. If I do, it will be in the description down below along with a link if you're interested in the scooter. Now, like I said in the intro, this is definitely not your typical scooter. First of all, look at those brakes. Those brakes are absolutely insane, very nice and high quality. And the size of this hub motor is absolutely crazy. I can't wait to test its top speed, and that is exactly what we're gonna do right now. Now, before I do the speed test, I do want to show you the starting procedure. This scooter does have a breaker over here, so that has to be switched on in order for the scooter to turn on. One more thing I do want to mention is this scooter does have an alarm system, so if you try to move it or do anything, it will start going crazy, sounding the alarm and actually locking the hub motor, so you're not able to move the scooter unless you take the NFC card and put it up to the screen to unlock it. Now, it does come with 2 NFC cards that are used to unlock and lock the bike when you're done, or turn it off and on, whatever you guys want to call it. Do not lose these, because that's the only way to turn this scooter on. Now, it's a little bright out today, so I hope you guys will be able to see the screen, which, by the way, it's a huge screen. And just for size comparison, this is what an iPhone 15 Pro Max looks like compared to the screen. This is by far the biggest screen I've ever seen on any e-bike or electric scooter I've ever reviewed. But it is very bright out today, so hopefully you guys can see the display itself. But this scooter has 4 different modes. You access them by hitting this S button. For our speed test, I'm going to be testing mode 4. So I got my GPS app open and the speed reset. I'm just going to throw it out in my pocket, and let's see how fast this thing can go in speed mode 4. Okay. So pretty decent torque right off the bat. And wow, this hub motor is really smooth. So quiet. All hub motors are fairly quiet. This one is extra quiet. It feels very smooth. Now, our top speed should be 35 miles an hour in speed mode 4. The display is already showing 35. I'm just gonna tuck in to give it all the chances in the world of making it. And I think that should be enough. I just want my GPS app to have enough time to catch up and register the speed. Let's check our results. Alright, so my GPS app is showing 31.3 miles per hour. Now, as I was doing the speed test, I did say that it's supposed to go 35 miles an hour, but I was going to mention that if I can get anywhere near 30 miles an hour, I'd be extremely happy. And we managed to hit 31.3. Now, the one thing I will say is this motor is huge, and I honestly feel like it has a lot more power to give. I'm not sure what kind of controller they're using. If I ever figure that out and I'm able to connect to it, I'll definitely try, because like I said, this thing has way more power. But anyways, that was our speed test. Now let's do our brake test. Making my way up to about 20 miles an hour and stopping. Oh my god. Dude, that was really good. Okay, so from that light pole to where I'm at, we're looking at, I don't know, maybe 8 feet, no more than 8 feet. That is crazy. So an estimated stopping distance of about 8 feet from about 20 miles an hour. And wow, these brakes are so impressive. They feel really, really nice. I'm truly impressed. Now, one thing to keep in mind is these brakes are brand new, so they should get better with time as they bed in, and you should expect better results. But that was our brake test. All right, let's talk riding experience for a little bit. This does not feel like a scooter. This feels to me like a Vespa almost. Like a mini motorcycle, a Vespa. It feels like I'm riding my Razor. What a unique feeling. I've reviewed my fair share of sit-down scooters. This is nothing like anything I've ever reviewed. Those small wheels and the battery sitting so low, giving you low center of gravity, and it feels like you can get sideways on this thing like crazy. Literally, it feels like a motorcycle, especially with these mirrors that I got installed that actually comes with it, so that's kind of nice. The scooter feels planted to the ground, very solid. It feels like a motorcycle, I'll say that again. Let's see how stable this thing is. Okay, fairly stable, and I feel pretty confident on it. You get to know it pretty quick, and man, just carving with this thing is so much fun. Now, this scooter is very talkative, so check this out. If you hit the turn signals, not only you see it on the display, it's giving you that chime. Feels like you're on an airplane. Very nice, and definitely adds to the riding experience. Suspension time. Check this out. The front fork is really nice, and those rear monoshocks, man, they are putting in some work. Very nice and comfortable. That seat also adds to the experience of the suspension. We'll talk about the seat in a little bit, but very nice and comfortable. Let's see how this thing does over a bump. Oh yeah, super nice, super comfortable. The front fork is really nice. It's on the upper high end of generic, and those rear shocks are beautiful. Now let's see how this thing does with a little curb hop. It's not really meant for it, but let's give it a shot. That was crazy. I kind of hit my my buddies on the way down. Hurts a little bit. They're gonna be mad at me later on, but suspension is really nice on this thing. Size and fit. I am 5'8", 160 pounds, and as you guys can tell, my sitting position on this thing is very nice and comfortable. It feels natural. The footrests are in a nice natural position. And let's talk about the seat. I do want to show you that. This seat is on a different level. I'm not sure how many layers of foam they have in here, but wow, this thing is super comfortable. I really like that. As far as the tune and pedal assist, obviously we don't have pedals, so I'm not going to talk about that, but the tune on here is really nice. This throttle response is very good. I really like the curve, and it doesn't go from like 0 to 100, so you can literally barely give it, like I'm barely twisting it, and it's responding already. So you can go very fine on the throttle, or you can just give it more juice and it starts going right away. As far as power, I want to show you that real quick. Look at this thing. That thing just wants to go up. This hub motor has got a lot of torque, and again, I said it earlier, but I feel like it has more power to give, and it's so smooth. I think because it's oversized, It's so smooth and it does not struggle at all moving this and moving me around. Very nice and quiet. Let's see if this thing is capable of climbing this hill. I'm gonna be in mode 4, of course. Just to remind you, I am 160 pounds. Now this hill never comes across on camera, but you're looking at 20 to 24% grade. It's fairly steep, steeper in some parts more than the others. And so far we are climbing this thing. I don't really hear the motor struggling at all. Obviously we lost some of our top speed. The display is showing 20 instead of 35, but wow, definitely handle this. I'll be completely honest with you, I did not think that it would be able to climb this. I'm highly surprised. That was very impressive, and the reason I do this test is for those of you who live in an area with hills, or you have hills as a part of your commute, just so you know what this thing is capable of. Now, speaking of commute, that's exactly what this thing is designed for. It's not really an off-road type vehicle. It doesn't have the tires for it. It's not really meant for that. It's not the market. Now, this is a review and I like to push things and take things to the limit, so I am going to test it, but just keep in mind that it's definitely not meant for that. This is 100% a commuter, maybe to ride around the neighborhood, take it on a boardwalk, go shopping, things like that. It's perfect for. Definitely not an off-road, but with that being said, let's give it a shot. Now, something like this is probably the most extreme I'd ever take this thing on, because it does have road tires. It could be a little slippery. This is fairly flat, but it is loose kind of sand, so you might lose the front and kind of eat it, so be careful if you are planning on doing that. And just because this is a review, I'm gonna take it to something a little bit more demanding, and let's see how it does over here. Now, the camera never does it justice, but it's much bumpier than what it seems. And we have a little hill climb over here. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, no problem. That's crazy. All right, so we were able to do that, and look at this thing. This is amazing. Okay, let's see how the suspension handles this down section over here. Oh man, so smooth. Honestly, this is great suspension for this thing. Now, even though the section I just did is fairly short for an off-road test, keep in mind, it's not even meant to do it. So the fact that it passed and was able to do it is already impressive. So, what do I think about the iScooter DX5? Let's do things I like, things I don't like, and is this thing good value for money or not? I'll start with things I like. First and foremost, I like the way this thing looks. It does not look like a regular, typical sit-down scooter. This thing looks like a pit bike. It looks like one of those gas pit bikes you see everywhere. That is very nice. I'm digging this look. I really like that motor as well. It is so quiet, so smooth, and I know it has a lot more power to give, so there is room for upgrades if you're going that route, because this thing could be insane. I'm also very impressed with those brakes. I've reviewed lots of e-bikes, and these were some of the best brakes I've ever tested. I'm also very impressed with the suspension. It is very smooth and comfortable for this price point, and that seat. My God, that seat is on a different level. Other small things I really like is that display, huge display. I like the storage basket. I like that headlight, very bright. And I like having a taillight, brake light, and turn signals. All of that is awesome. Now let's do things I don't like. And honestly, I tried thinking about something throughout the review, and the only thing I can say that I don't like about the scooter was the fact that I wasn't able to hit the full 35 miles an hour. Now, top speed has a lot to do with rider weight, PSI in the tires, the weather outside. So maybe on a different day I would be able to hit a higher top speed, and that pretty much is the only thing I dislike about this thing. Other than that, this scooter is so much fun, Very, very nice. Now, with all that stuff being said, is this thing good value for money or not? Again, we're talking $709 for everything that you're getting here. That's an amazing deal. And that's without a discount. I'm not 100% sure if I will have a discount. If I do, it will be in the description down below. If I do have a discount to give you guys, you add that on top of it, man, that would make it an insane value for money. I highly recommend this thing. It's really fun and definitely a different riding experience. Now, I'm pretty sure I was able to go over everything there's to know about this electric scooter, but in case I missed anything, leave it in the comment section and I will do my best to answer. This has been the iScooter DX5 review. I appreciate you guys watching as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.